that's out of the way. So now let's get on to our Monday Night Raw review.
Oh, yeah, and how do we open this baby up?
With Triple H.
The Authority.
No, just Triple H.
Yep, just Triple H. He comes out, and we get a good talking to, and by we, I mean the entire internet wrestling community, because Triple H doesn't really have some nice words for us at all.
Yeah, dude, it was freaking hilarious. I mean, Triple H comes out, and he's talking about how he is not happy with the result of what happened last night, and you know what he's going to do, John?
What's he going to do about it?
He's going to tweet.
God.
He's going to tweet so angry, and you know what? He might even Instagram something. He might even put out a Vine. You know what, John? If they keep this up, him and his best friend Mark aren't going to watch anymore.
Tragic. Truly tragic. I mean, I never thought Triple H would reach his breaking point this way, but we finally witnessed it. In all seriousness, though, this was awesome. This was hilarious. Kudos to Triple H for breaking out this kind of material for the promo. Again, the whole theme being, John Cena is still the champion, but I'm just gonna sit back and wait out my time. If I gotta wait 4 more weeks until SummerSlam for that championship to return to the Authority, then so be it. So Triple H, I like this. He got his digs in. He admitted he lost, but he's staying cool and calm because he still has a few cards left to play. So I enjoyed this promo immensely.
Yeah, and then after he talked about how he and his friend Mark were going to stop watching, he said, oh, maybe I'll just fire everyone in the back. Or maybe I'll fire all of you, of course pointing to the crowd and saying, maybe I'll just kick you all out, send you out into the weather. And then he basically just says that all he's really going to do is just sit back and relax because he guarantees that John Cena will no longer be champion after SummerSlam. And then he said, I'm not sure who is going to get the title shot, but, and then cue Randy Orton's theme music.
Yeah, Randy Orton comes out, and he's pretty much bewildered by Triple H making such statements, because he's like, pretty much seriously, I've been waiting 4 months for a rematch. I deserve a one-on-one rematch, all of which is factual, by the way. He was the former champion. He didn't even lose the title at WrestleMania. Batista tapped out. And Randy Orton says, if anybody's going to be getting a shot at John Cena at SummerSlam for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, it's me. You know I deserve it. You know I can get the job done. In fact, I guarantee I can get the job done. And, Triple H said, Randy, that's great and everything, but I want somebody to come in this ring and impress me. I want somebody to act like they want it more than anything else. And pretty much going on and on about how they need to show a hunger, a desire to be the champion. And, Randy Orton's like, impress you, this and that. If Kane had done his job last night, I'd be standing before you with both of those championships around my waist. Seriously, you're not considering Kane. And then Kane's music hits.
The explosion.
Yep, Kane comes out, pretty much says that I do hope you're seriously considering me to face John Cena at SummerSlam because I know I can beat John Cena, especially when I don't have to worry about being Randy Orton's protector. Cue 80s ooh effect from the crowd. And, pretty much I'm sick and tired of babysitting Randy, and pretty much says that he does deserve a championship match at SummerSlam. Then those two look like they're about to go at it, but then we get a third interruption from the Juggernaut. Thanks for using that, WWE. I'll be expecting my royalty check in 2 weeks. Roman Reigns.
Wait a minute, I thought you called him the Mastodon.
I've called him the Mastodon, and I think I've called him the Juggernaut a few times. Either way, they were totally inspired by me. I'm sticking to my story.
Okay.
So.
That works. So Roman Reigns comes out to a huge pop. And of course, and you know what, guys? Here's a cute little, what's it called? An Easter egg that you can look out for every episode of Raw and or SmackDown and or pay-per-view. When Roman Reigns comes out and makes his entrance, look out for any women that are in the vicinity because they touch him and then freak out. And it just so happened that it happened tonight, too. Some random woman touches him and then she starts jumping up and down, freaking out because she touched Roman Reigns. It is hilarious.
Never washing that hand again. Guaranteed. Female fans love Roman Reigns. I even said to Ashton, that female pop, though, because it was ridiculous. And then he's pretty much just standing on the apron, and he says, I know these people don't want to see John Cena versus Kane. Boo! And I damn sure know they don't want to see John Cena versus Randy Orton again. Boo! I think what these people want to see is John Cena versus Roman Reigns. Huge pop. So, yeah. And then I think he comes in the ring, and then I think it pretty much concludes with him saying, "Believe that!" And he hits a Superman punch on Kane, and he looks like he's going to go for Orton, but Orton slithers out of the ring.
Good old Orton pulling those Viper tactics.
Yep, pretty much. Triple H pretty much says, "Oh, okay, Reigns, you want to prove yourself, you want a shot? Well, I'll give you that opportunity because you're competing in this ring tonight in a 2-on-1 handicap match against Kane and Randy Orton. Oh, and Roman, that match is right now." So, there you go.
Indeed. So we go right into that match. I'm sure there were like 3 or 4 commercial breaks before we actually got to it, but you get the idea. Roman Reigns versus Kane and Randy Orton, and I don't really have a whole ton to add here about the match itself. The one spot that really stood out, and for some reason, even though he does it in almost every match now, it still just looks so cool, was the apron drop kick. Like, I just can't get enough of that move. Like the 360 that he made around the ring last night, where he just got all 3 of the opponents, just was awesome. So what ends up happening basically for the finish is Kane is going for the tag, and Orton doesn't want to tag, so he just kind of backs off and walks out. Next thing you know, Kane eats a spear and gets pinned.
Pretty much, yeah. That was the more interesting aspect of this match, because in terms of like the in-ring product, you knew Reigns was going to overcome, and he did his typical offense, the Samoan drop, Superman punch, all that stuff, and it was great. I always enjoy it. But I think the best part of this match for me was Kane got the tag, and then Orton said, "Well, if you were looking out for me last night," and then Kane throttles Orton's throat on the apron, which allows Reigns to connect with the Superman punch and then follow up with the spear, and Orton was pretty much done at that point. So yeah,
I mean, my only problem with that though is that Kane grabbing Orton by the throat, wouldn't that imply a tag since they touched?
Yeah, you and everybody else had that complaint. So from a technical standpoint, it doesn't seem like they're adhering to the rules of a tag-style matchup, because that seemed like, that was a legal tag. But apparently the ref didn't think so, so Roman Reigns gets the win by hook or crook. And yeah, Orton was pretty much done with Roman Reigns.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, either way, Orton won, or either way, Reigns won, because either if Kane was the legal man, he pinned him. If Orton was the legal man, Reigns won by countout.
Yeah, there you go.
So, even if you're like me and you feel the need to justify goofy things like this from a kayfabe standpoint, there you go.
Yep, nothing more needs to be said than that.
So up next, we had Nikki Bella in a 4-on-1 handicap match against Eva Marie, Cameron, Alicia Fox, and Rosa Mendez. And she comes out and stops at ringside to hug her sister, Brie, who is watching in the crowd. She has a ticket. And next thing you know, before the match even gets the opportunity to start, Stephanie McMahon's music hits. She comes out, taunts Brie, calls her a quitter, says that Nikki was acting like she was surprised to see Brie, and she commended her, obviously sarcastically, for her acting. Says that Brie went from being one of the biggest names on the planet, a diva, and now she's just another face in the crowd because she abandoned her sister to get her husband, the B-plus player Daniel Bryan. And just a special note here, as soon as Daniel Bryan's name or even a suggestion of his existence comes up on Raw, the crowd popped huge. But,
yeah, they did.
Yeah, but basically Stephanie points out that Brie quit to try and keep the title on Bryan, and now Bryan ended up needing to get stripped anyway. So real smart there, Brie. And then Stephanie's starting to walk off, and next thing you know, Brie's just like, she's such a bitch. And the guy's reaction is what really sold that, because they showed a guy in the crowd right next to Brie, and he flipped out when she said bitch. Like, oh my God, holy crap, she said, oh my God, it was hilarious. And then Stephanie stops dead in her tracks. She has that angry scowl that only Stephanie can pull off on. And then she turns around and she comes over and starts taunting Brie again. And then Brie grabs the mic out of her hand and says, "You're only doing this out of spite. You're doing this because I left my handprint on your face, and what kind of person are you? And I'll tell you what kind of person you are. You are a vindictive bitch. And I seriously think Brie needs to expand her vocabulary, but we get the point here. So then Stephanie slaps her. She sells it like a freaking champ and then tries to dive back towards Stephanie, which obviously security holds her back. So yeah, then Stephanie tells them to get her out, calls her a loser and a quitter, and then called for the bell. Bell rings, all four divas beat down Nikki. Alicia Fox hits her axe kick on Nikki Bella for the win, and that's about it. And then that was when Nikki got rolled out of the ring and we got our wardrobe malfunction for the night, but that's pretty much irrelevant.
Yeah, I love the whole interaction between Brie and Stephanie. They're really making this angle as hot as possible in terms of interest and everything else for their impending match, possibly at SummerSlam. At least that's what's been heavily rumored. I really would think that we can confirm it as fact at this point after what they did here and what they would do later in the night, which we'll get to at that point. This was great stuff. As you said, Brie sold that slap fantastically. And this had a whole Attitude Era kind of feel to it, with the cops getting involved and the crowd just so hot for this angle. This is great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that they gave Bray Wyatt and Xavier Woods what chance, this crowd felt like a Full Sail crowd tonight.
They did. This crowd, for the most part, was absolutely wonderful. I love their energy, especially for this segment and subsequent segments these two would have together. It makes me very invested for their match at SummerSlam. It's great to see the women getting shine like this.
Absolutely. It's great to see the women getting any shine, really, but the degree that Stephanie and Brie got shine tonight is pretty exceptional, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they did great things tonight. They got, I think, 2 or 3 worthwhile segments, it seemed like. So they did really well. And, yeah, nothing really to say about the Nikki 4-on-1 situation. It was what it was. I mean, Ashton literally gave you the run of the match. I still say Nikki might turn heel, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But Brie will be back with us shortly. You could really feel it at this point.
And I actually botched a little bit. I said Alicia Fox's finisher was an axe kick. It's a scissor kick. That's right.
Right. Okay.
Isn't that CJ Parker's finisher?
Yeah, it is, but you know what, dude? I really can't even fault you because I've heard people call Booker T's kick and R-Truth's kick an axe kick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe it's interchangeable.
Huh.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, regardless, Brie and Stephanie happened, Nikki's wardrobe malfunctioned, and then we moved on